Welcome back. Domestic violence and abuse can leave some pretty deep emotional scars on its victims. How can you heal from these wounds? Let's welcome Ashlee Taylor from Refuge, Utah to the table. Welcome.
Hi, Ashlee.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. So, Ashlee, I pulled some good people out of Utah Valley Magazine this issue. Another angel in this issue.
Neat.
And I just loved hearing like your passion for this, and tell us how you got started down, because this is not an easy topic.
Yeah, that's for sure. I've always worked in nonprofits, so I wanted to do something that really affects the community. And I got involved with this organization and realized how much this affects all the families in our community, but our community as a whole.
Okay.
And it's definitely something that's not easy to talk about, right? And is often not talked about, and really needs people that will be an advocate to really make some change and help out with the problem.
So do you have statistics that you can share with us?
Yeah, 1 in 3 women will experience some sort of intimate partner violence in their lifetime. Wow. Which, when you think about that, is just shocking, and Utah is no different. That's the national average, and that's the same in Utah as well. So we know that there are thousands and thousands of people that are going through domestic abuse, and that a lot of them don't know that there is an organization like us that can help them.
And then there's women and there's men experiencing this as well.
Yes.
Do you help both, or is this, what kind of community support is that?
Yeah, so the statistic is 1 in 5 men will experience domestic abuse in their lifetime, which a lot of people are
Which we don't think of that often.
Yeah, exactly. So originally our organization was the Center for Women and Children in Crisis. And then in 2019, we rebranded to the Refuge for that purpose, because a lot of people don't realize that it affects everyone. It affects men and women, and we wanted to make sure our name wasn't exclusive of anyone that we could serve.
That's so neat.
So I want to ask, is this like a community where people come and stay? Like they escape a violent situation and they can stay there?
Yeah, so we have a couple of different services, but one is our safe house or our emergency shelter, and they can come with their children and stay. The typical stay is about 30 days, just to kind of get things put back together and be able to move on to the next step in their lives. But we do have a lot of other services, because there are individuals that may be going through abuse that they don't need a place to stay, they have a safe place to live, and they need other advocacy, other support, maybe therapy services, support groups, help navigating the legal system, and we have advocates that can talk through all of those situations.
So when someone is in this situation, do they reach out to you directly, or do they work with a social worker? What does that look like?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that people access our services. We do have 24-hour hotlines. So for both sexual assault and domestic violence, anyone can call at any time, and they'll be on the phone with an advocate that can talk them through what's going on, answer questions, talk about our services, give them some different options. Sometimes we get referrals from other agencies, so they might be working with someone else in a different agency, and then they're referring them to our services. And a lot of times we also get referrals from our law enforcement victim advocates. So they might have reported to law enforcement, been connected with those victim advocates, and then they refer them to our services as well.
So they can kind of just Google or look up, and then someone will get them to a source that can help them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's tricky.
Yeah.
Such an emotional time.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, you were talking about the actual facility that you're working in now, and you were starting a new facility. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we, in our emergency shelter right now, we have 25 beds.
Okay.
Which, for the growing population of all of Utah County, we also serve Juab County, we know that that's not enough. We've had the same amount of beds for many years and just haven't had the capacity to meet all of the need that there is. So we are working right now to try and expand our facilities and build an all-new facility that will more than double the beds immediately, so that we can help more people in the community.
And when you say double the beds, what if a woman's coming in with a couple children, are they in their own room?
Yes, yeah. So those 25 beds that we have right now are split up into 7 rooms. So every family has their own room. So we might not have all 25 beds filled, but we have all of our rooms
So
filled.
there's only 7 rooms.
Right, exactly.
Not even 25 rooms.
Exactly. So we're...
Geez, that doesn't look like even near enough.
That seems like you need like the Refuge Utah in each city.
Right,
Yes.
right. Yeah, so we're looking to really expand those services, because we know the need is out there.
And how are you doing that? How can we help, or others watching?
Yeah, right now we're just in the process of purchasing some land, and then really start that fundraising campaign to be able to raise the funds to build that new facility.
Are they like mini units with maybe a kitchenette type situation, so like small units. Okay.
Yeah, so that will be in our future facility.
Oh, okay.
Currently, right now, our shelter is a converted duplex. So we have one shared living area and a kitchen that's really a double kitchen, and then all the rooms and shared bathrooms. So that's the current facility, which also is often misunderstood. People think of an emergency shelter and they think a giant room with a bunch of cots, right? But really, it is a home, and we try and make it as much of a home for those individuals that are staying there as we can.
Wow. Are there ever things that like just local fundraising organizations can do to help to bring you supplies? Like how do you get all your supplies?
Yeah, so we are grant funded. We have a couple different grants, but grant funding always goes up and down, and never quite meets exactly the need. We have a lot of private donations that come in, which are hugely just a huge blessing to us. And some will do in-kind donations where they might be bringing us whatever we're looking for, whether it be some hygiene items or bedding or things like that. And other times just monetary donations that come in so that we can fill the immediate need no matter what that is.
Wow.
I'm actually thinking also in my mind, because it's a safe house and you don't want some people getting access to, how are you able to provide some of those things also without certain people
Finding out where they are.
etc.
I mean, we do have a lot of security in place.
Okay.
And we do, right now, our admin offices are in a separate area than our safe house. So those are in two separate areas.
Then how about what you said, women, you help women and men. If a woman could be triggered by a man staying in that house, has that been a problem?
We always make sure that we discuss that and people know what's going on if someone's going to come into the house. And so there's always discussions around that. And typically they know it's not all men, right? And that's important to remember, that it's not all men. So we want to make sure that they're safe and that they don't feel triggered, but also remembering that it's not all men.
Okay.
Personally, I guess to you said that you've always been drawn to nonprofit. What made you finally land here or stay here?
Yeah, just seeing the need for advocacy, because it's, again, something that is not often talked about. It's hard for individuals to be able to open up about that, and seeing that they need a voice and they need someone to be their advocate and to really help them in the community, but also to help talk about domestic violence, make sure that people know that it's happening, know that there's help, know that there's a way that they can get help, get hope, and move on and heal in their lives.
In this article, I love that point. You truly never know what someone else is going through. This job helps me see the world with more compassion. We should all give each other the benefit of the doubt. We truly don't know what's behind closed doors.
Yeah. We always talk about start by believing, right? Especially when we see victims of sexual assault. A lot of times it's hard for people to believe that that situation happened to them. And the first response that we see when a victim of sexual assault starts to talk about their situation is that first person that they go to that really leads the path for how they're going to seek out help beyond that. And if that first person believes them, right, and really sits down and listens to them, then they're more likely to be able to move on and to get extra help, be able to get therapy, be able to get some of that healing that they need after that assault.
Do you know off the top of your head, like, how generational this is?
Yeah, with domestic violence, it's very generational. Especially children, if they've witnessed domestic violence growing up, that's what they see modeled as a relationship, right? So part of our program, we have a prevention program that we talk about safe dating and healthy relationships, because sometimes they've never seen a healthy relationship. So that's all that they know growing up. And so to teach them that there is a different way, healthy relationships look different, here's what it can look like, so that we can kind of break some of that generational domestic violence.
Oh,
Not to be an abuser, but also you don't have to fall into being abused, right?
Exactly. You can see the warning signs, you know what they are, and yeah.
What a really impactful thing that you're doing to a lot of families.
Ashlee, if anyone's watching and they feel like, oh, I really need help, what's the first step?
Yeah, the first step is reach out. So our website, therefugeutah.org, we've got both of our hotline numbers there, and we've got even a way that you can just message us anonymously, but just to reach out, because there are people that are waiting to help.
That's, I'm sure, good news for some of our victims. Thank you.
Thank you for being an angel.
Yes, thank you for educating us. Thank you so much. There's more studio chatter coming up.